Okay. Specifically homework 5, or are you thinking other things?
4.
4.
5 style Windows function.
Yes.
4 style that I guess before.
The one before it. Okay. Let me put this guy in here for our friends who are remote. That's on. Go away. Okay. So just to recap, 2 of you guys feel like you want to do some catch up, which is fine. We can definitely do that. Harvey, do you have any thoughts?
Specifically, I'm stuck on number 3, homework 5.
Okay. I'm gonna adjust the camera. Yeah, looks horrible anyway, no matter what I do. So there's 3 of you here. You kind of given me some input. Let's talk about. Let's start with homework 5, and then if you guys want to talk about homework 4, well, maybe we can do that. Harvard didn't say anything about homework 4, so you can kind of weigh in with some other thoughts if you want. But let's start with homework 5 and see where we get with that. Let me go bring up homework 5. Come on, you can do it. I'm also going to start Heidi SQL. I'm going to try to start it. So we have 5 different tasks here to use window functions. They're supposed to be all kind of starting easy and getting a little bit harder. That was kind of the intention. That one we don't need. Don't need. Maybe we'll use that one. They're both the same pretty much. Okay, let's go back to the task. And I'm just gonna put this on the page, but I'm ready for you guys to start asking questions. I hope you are ready to ask questions. Here's where we're at. You guys have told me that you feel a little bit behind, you're struggling with something. How can I help? How can we work on this together? And Harvard, you said you spent 4 hours on number 1?
1 and 2.
1 and 2? The other, they are very similar to each other.
Number 2, I think, was more difficult.
Well, yeah, that was the intention.
Well, yeah.
I'm glad you thought that. Not glad in the.
Well, it was more difficult until I figured it out. And I was like, oh,
Yes.
it's so easy. Why didn't I figure it out?
That's what happens.
But,
That's what happens, and that's okay.
and also, at first, I didn't have quotes around 01 and 05. So, I was reading these integers, so it gave me all of those.
Yes, that happens to me as well.
Because I at first thought you wanted them as integers, but you were just quoting them in the string. Right.
That's interesting that you say that, because
If you had specified string 01 and string 05, it would have been a lot more clear. But,
even though I have the quotes in there, huh?
well,
Oh yeah, you do.
the only reason I figured, maybe it's a string is because you had an O in front of it.
So what's going to happen is if you don't use quotes, it's going to convert it into a number. And it's looking for numbers between 1 and 5, but the values all start with 0. So 0 is less than 1, right? So you either get all of them or none of them, depending on how you write your query.
Even that a single quote doesn't work for some reason.
It's what?
Single quote doesn't work for SQL.
There were 3.
Oh, it does. Maybe it's a web interface. I don't know.
It could be. Some interfaces have some weird quirks like that.
Are you not using Python? No, I'm still sticking to the web interface.
Last semester we used a web interface called PHPMyAdmin. So some students still use that.
Single quotes also work.
That old command line.
I know for my hiding, if you do it properly, it'll just make it green. So identify it as a string.
Make what properly?
If you are just doing functions, if you're listing a table within your database and it identifies it, it'll like highlight it in blue or pink or green string.
You're talking about Heidi Sequel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll help you with that. So
Yeah.
if it's not, it'll just be like a teal yellowish color. This doesn't make sense.
Kind of like this.
Yeah. So
Our table is kind of a purplish, kind of a, I don't know, cyan, cyan. I don't know what color purple that is, but yeah. So we got a little bit of color coding to help. I got single quotes up there, and it looks like a string.
It'll take single or double.
I'm having a really hard time hearing you. I'm sorry, David.
Sorry, I'm still a little sick. But does it also not care about single or double quotes?
It being the SQL database engine, I think I've been taught that it does care, but I haven't played with it that much. I'm just gonna go put it in and see what happens. It's different color. And it looks like the results are probably the same. That's good. Yeah, so for this case, it looks like it doesn't matter.
But it does care for some reason.
Oh, no, wait, though, different, oh, we have differences though. I'm looking at this first row and the trending date number is different.
Same.
Oh, no, maybe it's not different. Anyway, I don't know the cases in which the quote, a single quote is different than a double quote. I don't know off the top of my head. Usually I use single quotes to refer to a string, a literal string, and I use double quotes for when. I don't use them that much. I could probably think of when I use, no, I just don't use them that much.
I know for just general coding, if it's a single like string without spaces, I just use single quote. If it's like a block quote, I use that.
And maybe that's relevant here.
I don't think.
But even for a little string with spaces and white space characters, I've used single quotes before.
I don't. It's just practice.
Okay, let's get back to homework 5, task 1, write a query, blah, blah, blah. How do you want to dive into that? I obviously can just type everything on the screen and march through the answer quickly. I don't think it'd be that great of a learning experience for you guys. So how do you want to tackle this?
How many of us don't have the answer to one yet?
Say again?
How many of us don't have the answer to number 1 yet?
You have it? You have an idea of how to do it?
I'm not sure it's right. I have something, but
Actually, we're not even part of this discussion. I would be willing to just like stand outside while you guys talk about this so I can watch this later. I like figure it out myself and then look back on the lecture, the Zoom call. It's recording, right?
Well, let's work through it though. And I want you to be part of the discussion. I don't want this to be like, okay, now get out of the room so we can talk about the answer. I don't want to be like that at all. Let's all work on how we approach it. And then here's another cool thing. If you guys looked in the discussion group, there were a couple of students that were saying, is this right? I did it this way. And they put the sequel right there in the discussion group. So you can go look at it. But, and I think I might have mentioned some discussion group. I said, well, that's not the way I would have done it. One of the students did it a totally different way, and it worked out just great. It's not the way I did it, but it's fine. It's different. It works. Yes, Harvest.
Whose method was more efficient?
I didn't run the analyze command on them to check.
But could you have guessed by looking at it?
Probably mine. Well, and I think I might have said it in one of the replies. One student was doing a couple subqueries, and I said I did all my stuff in one pass. So when you have subqueries that regurgitate the data over and over again, that's usually going to be a little bit slower.
What number was it for that you had a bunch of subqueries on?
I think he was asking for number 1.
yeah, that was me. I did a view of that.
But you weren't the only one, though. I think there's somebody else that did that also.
At least that's what I started with. And as soon as I started working on 2, I realized that I can do it all in one step.
Yeah.
Just using it.
Okay. that gives me an idea then. Okay, so David, since this is already in the discussion group, you can look it up and it's already there. I'm not like giving away anything.
I appreciate that. More just it's my own thing where I try as much as I can by myself, and then like
Yeah,
try to reverse engineer the
Yes.
issue if I really can't figure it out myself.
right.
Yeah.
So where are you at right now in this moment?
I understand the question, but it's asking like question one, but beyond that, like to come up with the actual query, like the different parts of it, I wouldn't be.
Well, let's work on that though. That's part of what this class is about.
Yeah.
Is figuring that exact thing out.
I haven't given it enough thought.
Sure.
Until this point.
Sure.
That's my main problem.
Okay.
That's my-
Fair enough. Okay, that's the one that you did, GIE. This one does not have a subquery. Oh,
But the view one,
I'm sorry.
but the view one is essentially a subquery. It's just hide behind another view
Where?
from.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Date view queen of repetitive views for a row. Yeah, since I can't see view one, I don't see the query behind it. I'm not too worried about that one. But like you said you found a different way to put them all together, right? Okay. I'm gonna go look for somebody else's discussion. Navigation is not the best. Okay, so Ryan has a query and he does use subqueries. And how did I respond to that? Blah, 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 blah. And it says, so right there, Harvest, I said that his query actually works. That's not the way I would have written it. And his does essentially the same. It's a little bit different. His output is different than mine, but not enough that I was too worried about it. So we have two examples of how to tackle task one. This is task, nope, this is task two. Task two because he's going between 0 and 1. Oh, he's doing nth value. This is not task two at all, task 4. My bad.
Close enough.
Yes, it's all the same.
Similar to task 2.
I thought there was somebody else. See, Ryan had another. Oh, this task. Up here it is, task 1. That's what I'm looking for. So he's doing something interesting with the row number, which I did not do, but it works. Did I say that one works? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so he made it more complicated than it needs to be, but I think it even works. Oh, yep, our solutions match up even better. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's go. Hello, this is asking us to, the big deal here is getting the number of views and the difference in the number of views between this trending date and the previous trending date. That's the hardest part for this query. So if I take a look at all the views for each trending date, where is my SQL? Put it in a different window. Trending date and views. We'll do it from all, and do it from the fixed one that we fixed up so it's actually right. So I ordered by trending date. Now it looks like we have a bunch of values for one day, right? I don't remember if the dates have seconds and minutes, if they have a time segment to them. You guys remember off the top of your head?
I only publish time as time. Training date has just a date.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it was just a date.
Yeah, that kind of rings a bell. Oh, but we did for a specific video ID. That's where it came in. For this video ID, so I'm going to copy that. Oh, come on. Great. Copy that one. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. So what I'm asking you to do is like for the, I think that's May 15th. For May 15th, I want the difference between this value here, 39067.7, subtract this one before it. What's the difference between them? How much has the views gone up or gone down? For the most part, they're probably going up. How much have the views gone up since the previous day? That's what our task is asking for.
The main trouble then is getting the previous days.
Yes. There's lots of ways to do that. If we didn't use a window function, we could have what's called a self-table join. We could do something like this. From US videos fixed, I'll call it US1. And let's make it a whole thing a little bit more pretty. Inner join US videos fixed US2 on US1. Let's do the trending, and no, not the trending date. Yes, the trending date. Equals US2 trending date -1. I think that will work. And then we have to say US1. We'll do that for both of them actually. So I'm doing a join from US videos fixed. And then I do I select from the US videos fixed. And then I do a join against the very same table. It's the same table I'm joining to itself. The way I'm joining them is on the trending date, but I'm saying give me the trending date of one table, match it to the trending date of the same table, but different instance of it, -1. So I want the date -1. Let's go see what that looks like. US1. US2 trending date. This would be US1. Come on, go to the end. US2 dot views. I think I wrote that right. So two of these tables in this sense, right? It's the same table. I'm joining it twice. That kind of makes sense what I'm doing with that.
Why are there no values though?
Does the table have no values?
But
Keep going.
they're not for the same video, right?
All of them are for the same video, yes. I specified that in my word was. What you might not see though, and we have multiple instances of the 15th. Why? I have to think about that. What we don't see though, is that we don't see a trending date over here in the second column for the 14th. Are you thinking of that null value?
Yeah.
So there's no trending date of the 13th. It's gone.
Okay.
Since there is no 13th, it doesn't match to the 14th. US2 -1. That doesn't look right. Yeah. If this is US1, this is US2, the US trending date should equal this date -1.
But it's
How did it get to be +1? Now I'm confused about that. +1. How's it going up?
Because you wrote US2 that trending date minus 1.
Well, this is US trending date 1.
Yeah.
According to what we have.
That's US trending date 2,
What it says,
but it should be minus 1.
and I'm joining it, I'm telling it, only smash them together, where this one equals training date minus 1.
I mean, that looks right, but
Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, how do I explain this? I understand what I did wrong. I think I can make it more clear if I actually put this in the output. That'll make it more sense. So I'm comparing where'd he go? Oh, it's not a date. It doesn't look like a date, and it is a date, but it doesn't look like it. I want to see where this one equals this one, right? Well, where this equals this one, because I did a minus 1, I'm looking for the, how do I say this? I'm looking for the future. I'm looking for, like, let's say today's Tuesday in US video 1. I want to find where US video 2, the day minus 1 equals Tuesday. So day minus 1 equals Tuesday means that day equals Wednesday. Does that kind of make sense? So if I want to look for a previous day, I want to look for where the day equals Thursday when today equals Wednesday.
oh yeah.
So now I'm looking at, okay, today is Wednesday. And here he says,
Right, but now it's not getting trending date 14 in the left.
I'm sorry.
It's not getting trending date 14 in the left column
Yeah, something.
because it's excluding that.
This is really confusing. This looks right. Now it's the previous day. This.
You have minus 1.
Thank you. Yes, that makes a big difference. Okay, now we got it right. We're looking at Wednesday here, the previous day is going to be Tuesday. Okay, that makes much more sense. So all I'm doing here with this exercise is so that we can use a self-table join to find out the previous view.
Right, but it doesn't work because you're excluding the first trending date.
We're excluding what?
First trending date. You don't see trending date 14 in the first column, which is a problem, right?
Can be. We can fix that problem.
But I mean, the difference for the first day is
No,
it's not defined in the first place.
Yeah.
So probably we don't have to care about
right.
that.
If we were only looking for the difference, but if there is no difference,
Right.
are we looking for that as well? So if we are looking for that, then we're missing the row.
So one way or the other, we're going to be off by 1 either at the front or at the end.
Oh.
Right? If we're looking for the previous day, at some point in time, either be the first day we look at doesn't have a previous day, or we get down to the very end, and that last day that we have, we're not going to go to the next day to find out what the difference was going to be.
Can we not fix that?
Can you not fix it? Yeah, okay, I'll leave it the way it is, it's not fixed. But I don't think that's what you're asking.
No, I mean, is it not possible to fix that?
What do you want the output to be then?
The correct output, but using your method.
Or what is the correct output?
It should show 14 through the end date, and then where the trending date, the difference is null, it should just be null
How about 0?
or 0. Well, you can get null is just 0, fine.
So doing it this way, we probably ought to do like an outer join.
So you can't do it with
You'd have to add on the data, like with the union or something like that. But the inner join says only find them where they match. I can't get them to match if they don't match. In this case, we want to do left. Order by one. What did I do wrong? We do have a 14th here instead of left outer join. Oh, the order by one. I bet you my null value is probably way at the bottom. Let me go look. It should be at the top. Let's go look. Nope, not the bottom. Where's the null value? I should have a null value. The 14th should not have a match. And I don't see it. Maybe I have to work on that one a little bit then, figure that one out. Left outer join. I'll have to come back to that. But for right now, we'll leave it the way it is.
So it's mostly possible.
Yes. I'm going to take some notes here. So if I wanted to based on this, if I wanted to calculate the difference in views between the previous days, I'm hoping that should be obvious, right? We just take the views from today, we subtract the views from yesterday. But we had to use a self-table join to get this to happen.
Window.
Right. So if we were to look for efficiency, we were to analyze it. Let's just analyze it. Instead of saying if, let's just do it. Okay, whatever. Not gonna worry about that. So then we analyzed it. We picked up, what is that, roughly 82,000 rows that we're looking at. So the two entries we analyzed says that we're looking at US1, which is US video 6, and US2, which is also US video 6. We had to scan all the rows from the same table twice. We can do better than that. We can go through the entire table just once with the window function. That's what window functions do for us. Now, we talked before, we could add indexes and blah, blah, blah. Yes, we can speed up with that way. But let's assume that everything's already optimal. We've already got everything maximally indexed the way it can be. How do we do it next? Well, next step would be to use the window function. So how are we going to use the window function? First, we're going to take out the join. That's our whole objective, is to get rid of the join. We'll have to change our select a bit. We still want the trending date. Actually, you know what? Let's work on this together. What do I need to do? And Jai, and I know Harvey, you guys have worked on this. David, if you have any thoughts on how you want to approach this. To refresh, I'm going to go back to our homework to figure out what it asked for. Write a query to return to trending date. We know we need the trending date.
Number of views.
And a number of views. I'm just going to copy all that.
And the difference.
Yeah, I got disconnected for a while, but can you remind me of what that US video fix is?
Yes. So several weeks ago, maybe even, I don't know, I created a table called US Video Fix, and it fixed the trending date. Because in the source, the trending date is just a string, not actually a date.
Oh, I see.
And the way it was formatted is, I think it was year, day, month.
Also, wait, are we supposed to do this on all videos?
I'm sorry?
Are we supposed to do this on all videos, not the US videos?
You can.
Original Homework 4 had to do it on all videos. You can do it on these videos now. The new version.
This is homework 5.
I mean, we're going back to before this was like 3 weeks ago, right?
We're working on number 5 right now. We can go back to 4, but I want to do 5 first.
I mean, the first time that it was done was on, like, that lecture was the Homework 4 lecture where we changed the data type of trending date and published time.
Yeah,
From bar chart to
Right, but aren't we using all videos instead of US videos for homework 5?
I didn't specify.
Oh.
I let you choose. I did mention in a hint, I think, I mentioned in there that the way I did the examples, like I gave you some examples for you to look at, all my examples are done on US videos fixed. So I made that caveat. I didn't say that you guys had to do it a certain way. So GI, does that help answer where the US videos fixed came from?
It is.
Okay. So if you don't have a US videos fix, you just use US videos. With a trending date, how is that going to work with trending date?
Oh,
You'll still get valid results. I just need to be more careful how I check it. That makes sense?
because I was using my own YouTube table that we copied.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm more concerned about the SQL working, and it will work. The results will be slightly different, but it's still going to work. So I've copied what we have in the homework. I'm going to put that in our select statement because that's what we were told to select. We want the trending date, and we have to fix that a little bit. Number of views, we can fix that a little bit. And then the hard part, the difference in the number of views between yesterday and today. That's what we have to find out. And with this query, that's the only thing we have to work on right now then, is the number of views that are different between yesterday and today. How do we get that without doing a self table join? So in our lecture last week, I don't like calling it a lecture, this sounds bad. In our discussion last week, we talked about window functions. And I didn't give you a hint for that one. I didn't give you a hint as to which window function to use. But in the previous week, I did tell you to go look at the SQL reference. Window functions overview. So what we can do is look through all these functions. Is there one that tells me get data from another row?
Oh. I did use them.
I'm sorry?
These are functions that are compatible with window functions. They aren't specifically window functions, right?
It says window functions.
Oh, okay.
Now, I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe all window functions are also aggregate functions.
Yeah.
They're not just compatible. It's like they have a dual nature. They can be used different ways. However, not all aggregate functions can be windowed.
Yeah.
So the window functions is a subset of the aggregates.
I see. That's what I was reading.
So right off the bat, we should be able to rule out anything that has to do with numbers. If we're looking for the previous row, I don't care about the average, I don't care about the sum, and all that kind of stuff. Anything that has to do with numbers, like average, bits, and get rid of those. Count, we already know about, not too worried about that. There's gonna be a bunch of functions be like, cum yes, what the heck is that?
Cumulative distance.
I'm sorry?
Cumulative distance.
Yes. But what does that mean? I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. For all intents and purposes, for right now, if it doesn't make sense, just skip it. It's probably not relevant if you can't understand what the brief little words in the screen say. So like dense rank, JSON array, ag, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's just first value returns the first result from an ordered set. I don't really want the first result though, do I? We can probably not use that one because I want the one that just comes before it, not the one that's always at the beginning, the first one. Well, let's keep that in mind. Maybe we'll use first value at some point in time. What's it say? Access data from a previous row. Hey. So just by looking at the documentation, now we have an idea for which function might help us. Access data from our previous row. So let's click on it. Let's go see how we use it. And I don't like the way they present it. The syntax looks a little bit cryptic, a little bit garbled. For our homework, we can ignore the offset. We'll make it a little bit easier that way. Partition by, you don't have to worry about that one either. But we're gonna get rid of the offset, get rid of the partition by. How do we know? If you're looking at this for the first time, the partition by is like saying group by. Do you need to group the trending dates at all? Why not? You're shaking your head no. Why do you not need to group them?
You can order by rate.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You could group them,
But
but it wouldn't make any sense. So we're just gonna skip the partition by.
and also we want all of the dates, right? Because we want all the views on every date, so we really don't want to. group
We want them to be in one giant group.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of the offset, get rid of partition by, and it leaves us only with a little bit left. All we have to worry about, I'm gonna copy this out and we'll work on it over here. We got rid of the offset, which I'm telling you we don't need, not at this point in time. We talked about the partition by, we don't need that. The only thing we have left then is make it a little bit simple. Is order by. We need to figure out what expression means. We'll figure that one out. Then we need to figure out what the order of this is going to be. If you, I'm telling you to get the previous day's row. But how do you think we might want to order it?
by training date,
Okay, why?
because if you don't, then it won't be in order of the dates. And you need the date previous to the current date, which means the dates need to be in order.
Okay, so the lag function says get the previous row. If we're getting the previous row, the order that we ordered by, the direction, makes an important difference, right? And we have two options when we order by. We either do ascending or descending. So, all right, my next question is, how do you want to order this list? Ascending or descending? If we're doing trending date, you want the date to go up or the date to go down? Why?
Wait, so when we do a query and it lists all of them, is the top the first value or is the bottom the first value?
Let's take a look. When we did a query, I have it right. I have it right. I haven't analyzed. Oh, yeah, I changed it too much. Let me go use the query that we had before. And I'll get those dates for you. Just hold on a second. Put this in a new one. Okay. And it might be hard to see in the back row, but we're starting off with the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. Those are all going up. So David, yes, you said ascending, all going up. At the top is the oldest date, right?
So the default is ascending.
I'm sorry?
Default is ascending.
Yes, the default is ascending, yes. So we don't have to specify an order if we want it to be ascending. We only have to specify an order if we really want it to be descending. Where are we at? So we're going to leave it with that. We could put it ascending, but it's the default. We don't have to put it in. So anything we have to figure out now then is two things. What is the expression and what is the order list? The order by order list should be easy. Harvest already gave us a clue for that one. How do we want to order the data? What was that? Say it.
You would just say trending date.
Yep. The only thing, so we've been able to demystify almost its entire lag function. We've gotten rid of the stuff we don't need, got rid of the easy stuff. Now the only hard thing now, what is this expression thing? No idea. Awesome. Love it. This is a great answer.
I mean, it's gotta be views.
It's gotta be views? Okay, why?
Because you want, I mean, that's the column you want to select the
Why is it called expression?
Yes. Coverage did a question, maybe you, or you think coverage did. I didn't hear what you said.
Why is it called expression?
Okay, good question. I'll get to that, David.
So the lag function returns what? It returns,
It returns to what?
what is it in the documentation? What did it say it does?
Let's go take a look. And I think, Harvest, this is going to be related to what you're asking, I think. maybe.
That's
Accesses data from previous row.
So each row has just a bunch of data, right?
Yes.
You want to access a specific data within that row, so you have to specify like what data within that row you want.
Yes.
I think that would be like, in this case, we're trying to get the views when they would want, not the likes when they would want.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
views.
So Harvey, when you're asking expression, it'd almost be better if they just called it column, but it's more versatile than just a column. It can literally be an expression. It can be lots of different things mixed up together. So I think they use the word expression to signify that you can do more with it than just a column. But for all our intents and purposes, all we care about is views, the column. And I don't really say anything about the expression here. I'm really disappointed.
Yeah.
They do talk about the offset and the order by. That's good, but nothing about the expression.
I've been very disappointed with their documentation.
There's a what?
I've been very disappointed with their documentation.
Yes, yes. There's like maybe one or two cases where it's like, oh, that was really good. But everything else is like, ugh, it makes me cringe. Some of the examples are actually helpful. That's good. So we've got our lag function. We've talked about majority of it, and we've all agreed. I think we've all agreed.
Does it only return the previous row?
I'm sorry.
Does it only return the previous row?
Only. Are you asking if it's limited to just the previous row, or can it return more things in addition to the previous row?
Yeah.
Which one?
For the second.
Okay. So you want to return multiple rows?
Well, no, you don't want to, but does it do that by default?
No, by default, it's only going to return one row.
Oh, so I don't need to any of the rest of this.
No.
Other stuff.
So again, this is the aggregate function. All aggregate functions return one row for each group. And it's an aggregate function. So we don't have a partition by clause. So essentially the whole thing is one group is going to return one row.
So all you need is then order that trending data and it works.
And the expression.
And the assertion, yeah.
Yes, that's all you need.
Because I added rows between one preceding and current row.
That's one way to do it. Not wrong, I don't think. But that's a window frame, and we're going to talk about window frames a little bit. I think we need it for task 4, maybe. I don't remember which one we need it for. And I'm going to concatenate the stuff that's all in one line. I'm not changing anything. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit. Lag, views, blah, blah, blah. Go back to our Heidi SQL.
But you know, before, I think the reason I did that is because I was trying to use classify.
Oh, you didn't use lag?
Yeah, I was trying to use classify.
Interesting.
But I changed it to lag, but I didn't remove the preceding.
That's interesting. So, see, again, you used a different function. Not that it's wrong, but in order to use it, you have to do some other stuff with it. And maybe, you said you took 4 hours on these too. Maybe part of your discovery, your exploration, was part of that 4 hours. Like, let's try this. Yes. And that's good. I'm sure it didn't feel good at all, but it's good that you did the exercise, in my opinion. Okay. We're not quite done, but we're really, really, really close. I have the trending date, I have the views, and I copied over what I had there before. Let me go put that back. Undo, 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 undo. So there's our lag function. And now we need, according to the task, the difference in the number of views between yesterday and today. So I've got the lag, I've got the views from yesterday. Yes, Jai?
I've got 2 things for lag. So do you not have to specify the row?
No. So Harvest was just talking about that. The default says, let's just go read what the default says. Instead of me telling you. Over the doesn't tell us anything about the window frame. That's disappointing.
I mean, I assume because it says partition.
I'm sorry?
I assume because it says partition by, if you don't put anything in, just do it.
Right. I think, yeah, you might be asking a different question.
Never mind. So it doesn't have to, right? That's all I want to know. You don't have to specify a row for the left or right.
No,
Oh, that's all.
because it's always the previous row.
Oh, okay.
That's the nature of this function. And I'm trying to think with a window frame, can we change it? I don't even know if we can. I don't know if a window frame even makes sense for this one. But we'll talk about window frame for another task. So let's keep it even, keep it easy, keep it simple, and talk about what we have. And we will talk about window frames in a little bit. So we need the difference in the number of views between yesterday and today. How do we get that?
So the current view minus the lag.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Views minus the lag. And then I'll take a quick look at our Zoom here to make sure that we haven't timed out. Because sometimes it just goes away. Last week, I think, the last 2 weeks ago, Zoom went away and we missed some recordings. So I don't see any indication that Zoom is tired. It stopped. Yeah, still recording. I think Zoom is okay. I hope so. Heidi Sequel, we've got views minus lag. Harvest has his hand up. Yes.
So it's gonna be, our output data is going to be wrong if we don't use US videos fixed because the trending date is just,
I'm not going to say wrong. I'm going to say it's different than mine.
well, it's wrong if it's wrong, but it's accepted still.
So there's been at least one student so far who turned in homework 5, and he used a different table.
Yeah.
So when I was checking his homework, I went and changed it to my table. And I said, hey, the output matches. Good to go.
If you use your table.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to take points off because you used the table because the homework didn't say to use the table.
But that also is probably why I got so confused with these, because
That makes sense.
also the day is in the middle of the number instead of at the end.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
which is,
It makes a difference. Yes.
yes. Because I've got some values that are negative then often. Like why is this negative? But I know why it's negative. So,
Because the day's in the wrong spot. Okay, so one thing I wanted to point out, I wanted to point out, we did an example, we did a self-table join. The documentation says we can do this clause without the need for a self-join. So this whole point of this, well, not the whole point, one of the main benefits of this is because it does this work without a self-join. That's the big benefit for using it in the first place. Let's go make sure our query looks good. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one we're working on. We have a syntax error somewhere. Over, the over clause it doesn't like. Maybe the space here? Yep, just a space. Add a space between lag and the parentheses, and it didn't like it. But that look right? We've got the 15th. Since we have 2 entries for the 15th, there's a 0 over here because it's looking at the previous row and there's no difference. They're the same. That kind of makes sense. I go down to the 15th and the 16th, and it looks like these guys are probably right. 56 minus 48, I can believe that it's 8. That makes sense. Yes.
What if you want to get rid of the repetitive rows?
Read off the what?
To get rid of the same day.
The duplicate day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there's a couple ways to do that. Best way to do it, what do you think?
It's 10.
Kind of, but then we need a subquery. Because this 15th row, while the first two columns are the same, this third column is not the same. So if we put a distinct in front of it, it's not gonna help us. That's not to say that we couldn't use a distinct, we could probably use a distinct in like a subquery. If we did it that way. How else? I would be curious to find out why we have 2 days in the 15th. That, I wonder if there's something up with the data. It's the same row in the table twice. It's possible. So maybe we just need to clean up the data. If it's actually valid data, another way to do it, I like to use a row number function, but that's going to be in a subquery too.
Oh, were we supposed to get rid of duplicate days?
How?
I thought we were supposed to.
By putting what?
Were we supposed to get rid of the duplicate days?
Well, I only see one duplicate date. That's on the 15th so far. I haven't looked extensively. But for some reason, there's 2 dates on the 15th.
Yeah, it might be wrong. No, it doesn't have that.
So maybe I inserted that data at some point in time just to throw things off.
We have to update our tables again.
Do I have to what?
Should we update our tables again then?
I'm sorry, I still didn't hear you, David.
Update our tables then?
Maybe. Gee, I'm just trying to think of how to answer your question. Right now, let's not worry about it. I think that's probably because I think this is just an anomaly for the 15th. Because I think there's actually 2 rows in there that's not supposed to be.
I'm asking because I was querying from all videos, the big table, and it got a lot of duplicate dates, and I spent a lot of time dealing with. And the only way I can think of is to get a subquery where you basically group it by dates.
Yep, that's certainly a good way to do it. But did you do it on the one video ID?
Yeah, and just specify where video ID is the one you want.
And there's duplicates there?
Yes, they are.
Huh. I guess it'd be going to be from some different countries. Okay, I didn't think about that. But yeah, using a subquery is probably, if you have to use a subquery one way or another for as far as I can think of, unless you want to put like a, there's other ways, I guess. You could say distinct. No, distinct, no, I'm thinking of something else. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head would be with subqueries. There might be another way I can't think of at the moment, but I'm not going to worry about that too much right now. I want to move on. If that's okay. So we got task 1, and it only took an hour and 5 minutes. Does this make sense? And David, I'm kind of looking at you to see if this makes sense. The big thing is with that lag function. Does it make sense how we used it? Okay.
I'm more interested in our method for like analyzing the function and the documentation. Because once you know how to do that, then it's pretty self-explanatory how to do that.
Exactly. And that's why I think it's worthwhile to spend an hour just talking about this one, because it sets the stage for everything else. I'm going to run an analyze on this to see how much we're actually saving. Analyze. So now we have 1 entry, and we're only going over 40,000 rows once. So we're a little bit over 40,000. We've cut half the work right off the bat. And this is exactly what the documentation says. There's a single pass on the data. That's what that flag function does. Copy that, put that in notes. No, yeah, sure, we'll keep that. If there's no other question for task 1, we can move on to task 2, which is expand on this just a little bit. Task 2 says, same as task 1, but now do it for a number of videos, not just one video. We can kind of keep our query and do it for multiple videos. Between video IDs greater than that and less than that. Copy. I'm gonna get rid of all my comments because I don't need them anymore. Let's clean it up a little bit. We know we basically need the same query. We need to change a little bit because we want to do something with videos between 0, 1, and 0, 5. How are we going to get that? Ideas. How do we get videos between 0, 1, and 0, 5?
Where what is it? Video ID is less than or greater than 01 and less than 05. Almost exactly as you wrote it.
Amazing how that happened. What a coincidence. And video ID is less than. That is certainly a good way to do it. I'm sorry?
Can you use Bitcoin?
Yes,
For,
definitely. In fact, that's the way I would prefer it, but the database engine rewrites it back to this one anyway. So it's just a shortcut for humans to type it. The database doesn't really care which one you use. You said between. How are we going to write between? You know off the top of your head?
Is it between video ID? Video ID between a number and number.
Yep. Oops, wrong one. And that one. So either one of those are fine. The database engine considers them both equal. And it will rewrite the between to be the and clause.
It says we have to group by video ID.
I'm sorry.
It says we have to group by video ID.
Uh-huh. Is that what it says in the task?
Group by video ID, but don't use the group by.
Making it tricky.
Video ID is
That stinking instructor, man. And I say I have to use video ID as the first column. Okay. I cannot, I really want to, but I can't say group by video ID. That's what the homework says. I can't do it.
you have to use the partition.
Yes. And how do you remember that?
How do I remember that?
Yes.
Like, how did I just remember it? I just remember.
That's fine. I just wondering if there's something that triggers your memory.
Oh, and
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay.
you just have to group by.
Yes, that's good. Yes, Harvey.
What was US videos called? US videos fixed.
US video underscore fixed.
Okay. Does case matter?
Mine was all lowercase.
All lowercase.
All of it, yes.
I haven't changed my, I have like US.
And that's fine. That's fine. Like I said, when I run it, I'm going to put my table in there anyway. I'm more concerned about the rest of the query. That's the important part, the meat of our lesson.
I can't find.
It won't be in the YouTube. Yeah, you won't be able to see it. It's only in my schema. I believe I gave the sequel for creating it in a previous week. I have to go look it up again.
I'd have to create it. And say,
And I can put it back in the.
if you
like-
put the updated one in, or the one of the two.
Yeah, I could put it in the YouTube schema.
Yeah.
The database. That would work out well. Yeah, I can do that.
Sorry, just so it, the future ones I can
Yes.
actually check my output better.
Let me make a note so I don't forget. Put US videos fixed in YouTube database. So let's not forget that. Okay, David, you had mentioned the partition clause. Where are we going to put it? And this is open for everybody to answer. I'm not just picking on David.
It was in the parentheses after over or over by. Or was it after over? I forgot the exact attachment.
Okay, so you said partition by. What are we partitioning by?
Video ID.
Video ID. And sorry, is that it? Okay. So we're doing the work of grouping it, but we're not using that group by clause because the homework said we can't. David said use the partition by, which does the same work. Are we done? Let's run it, see what happens. First, we'll see if we get any errors. Oh, analyze. We don't want to analyze. Well, we have one problem. Looks like there's 0 rows came back. We must have done something wrong. Wondering if perhaps video ID 1 and 5 is not in US videos fixed. That'd be one guess. Oh, you know what? I see another problem.
And video ID.
I didn't take that other predicate off. I got to take that guy off. We don't want to do both searches. And now we got some data. Doesn't make sense. So video ID 01 goes all the way down. It's like what, maybe 10 rows, 9 rows, somewhere around there. So within that group, unless the views minus lag views. Okay. So order by trending date. We said order by 1, which could really make the output look dirty. I'm going to order by the trending date also, so it makes a little bit more sense.
Or maybe order it by the video ID first.
The video ID is first.
It's the first column. Yeah, I know, but it's not going to be first. You order by the trending date.
I'm going to do both.
Yeah.
I'm going to do video ID. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make it first. Yeah. Video ID and the second column.
Oh, those are numbers of columns. I see.
It's a shortcut.
I wrote mine out, but okay. I mean, but if you trying to order it by training date, will it rearrange everything so that it breaks the partition by I don't know what I'm talking
It doesn't break the partition, but the output will look a little bit weird
about. Oh,
if we only order by trending date.
yeah, the output should have been correct for the other one. It just wasn't.
It didn't look correct because it looked out of jumbled.
Yeah.
Once we put in an order, we'll see that the partition by is actually working. I hope we should. So again, we got our video, these all in the same section here. We're sorting by trending date. We're going from the 26th down to the 1st. That looks fine. Does it go up by 28,000? Probably. That's pretty close. Does this go up by 12,000? Yeah, that's pretty close. Does it go up by 8,000? That looks pretty good. So it looks like these numbers are the difference between these two rows. It looks like our lag function is working correctly. Okay, we get down to the last video here at 275,000 views. We go to the next video. The difference here is 275,000 about, but it says null.
Wait, we're not supposed to get the difference between the videos, are we?
No, we're not. This null, the first one, is correct because there is no date prior to this one. For this starting a new section here, new video ID. For February 11th, there's no February 10th. Now I'm a little bit confused why January 6th comes after February 11th.
It's a new video ID as well.
Ah, good eyes. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't see that on top. We only have one entry for this particular video ID. And so it has a null value of difference because there's nothing before it. And then we go on to another new video ID. It has nothing before that date either, so it's also null. So it looks like our lag function is doing exactly what we wanted to do. It looks like we made it correctly. I'm hoping that by walking through this, we're doing a good job of explaining what the lag function is doing. Are there any, having said that, are there any questions or doubts, concerns, confusions?
Mine's probably right. I just can't tell because it's not in order.
Because you use a different trending date, the time fix.
Video. Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at it. You did all videos?
Yeah.
Let's just put it in there and take a look at it. Let me save this one that we were working on. You did it on all videos. And where the date's a little bit more messed up. We've got this section of video. First, looks like the first 3 rows are all the same video ID. So with the first 3 rows,
My output's definitely correct. It just doesn't look like it's correct.
yeah,
And that's probably part of why I was having so much trouble with it.
so it looks messed up because it's sorting it by trending date, but the trending date here is not a date, it's a string. So because it's a string, it's actually alphabetized in a sense. It's in order of ASCII code.
Which it would have been fine if day was at the end.
Well, if you don't think about it as a date, if you think about it as just a pure string,
Yeah.
if we convert our brain to thinking it's not a date, it's not a date. Even though it says trending date, even though the homework says the previous row's date, it's not a date, it's not a date.
It would have mostly worked if day was at the end because
Yeah, oh yeah,
they're relatively close and one comes after 2 in ASCII.
yes. We have to convert the data then, yes.
So it's in all videos.
Yeah.
It's not fixed, right?
Correct, absolutely.
My output's definitely correct.
It's because that trending date's not a date. That's the only thing that matters here. I know you're looking at it like, but
It does ASCII, right?
it's a string.
ASCII first. It takes an ASCII value comparison to the
Yes.
actual date.
Exactly,
Automatically, because it's the date data.
exactly. So one way to think about this, the way it stores the data is that it takes the ASCII value of 1, the ASCII value of 7, the ASCII value of dot, the ASCII value of 0, et cetera, and it stores it all out on 0s and 1s on a disk like that. If you go look at the date, we'll just undo. So these dates, we don't take the ASCII value of 2018. We take the epoch seconds, the number of seconds since January 1st, 1970 or something like that. So it's stored in the database as an integer that represents the number of seconds since the epoch date. So when we say sorted, we're not actually sorting by date per se. We're saying sort by the number of seconds since January 1st. That's all we're doing.
And then it displays it in a nicer format that humans can
The format
understand.
makes it different, yeah. So it really depends on the way we store the data makes a huge difference. Good questions. So we've talked a lot about task 1, task 2. Are you ready to move on? I don't know, what do you think, David? How are we feeling about this? Good?
I think I probably do it on my own now without banging my head against the desk for hours. Like, why doesn't this look right?
We haven't needed to use the fixed tables for like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, we didn't need to use them, and now
But now it's like you need to use them, otherwise you're gonna have bad.
Okay, yes.
because I didn't know we needed to use it.
Right. Right.
Because I think for home 4, you can just use the regular tables.
And then you
when
can use it.
it's like the same.
Right.
Yeah, it's just the storage is noticeably smaller.
But for this one,
For now,
it's
you
significant.
otherwise you're gonna
If when you actually do math and when you do operations on the field, then it makes a much more difference. And here we're obviously doing math in the sense we're looking at a previous day, day -1. And it's just 1, but it is math. So have we mastered task 1 and task 2? Are you ready to move on?
I'm surprised I got the right output before having the right.
Well, that's what some of the good parts of SQL is that you can get the right answer many different ways. It might not all be the fastest.
No, I did it this way, but
Okay,
with the wrong data.
that worked out well. It only took 4 hours.
Yeah. I came back to 3 and looked at it several times and just
Yes.
couldn't get anything that would work. And I just, okay, well, I'm waiting until
And it's good because some students, I've had students in the past who don't know when to draw the limit. And they just keep banging their head over and over and over again. Like, you gotta stop at some point and say, okay, enough is enough. Go ask a question for the discussion group, send me an email, ask your mom, talk to somebody about it.
That's my problem.
What?
The banging your head against the wall for too long.
Yes.
well, I kept thinking I'd get it, and then I just look at it and then did it.
Sometimes it honestly is just like a matter of like when you like the most simple things are the things that you miss the most. It's like unspoken, but because it's unspoken, there's room for like interpretation. You
Yes.
might just get it wrong.
Yes.
Like the data set that we should be using for this.
Like I'm sure if I wasn't told that I needed to copy the tables from the YouTube database to my own database at the start of the class, I would just like fail the first how many other homeworks because I just didn't know why it wasn't letting me do it.
Mhm.
But it's just because you don't have the credentials to
Right.
edit the YouTube database.
Right. So as an instructor, I'm going to say pedagogically, in theory, I like it when students fail because I believe learning happens when you fail. From a student's point of view, it feels horrible. It's frustrating. It's stressful. You don't understand what's going on. But that is the crux of where learning happens. So I'm going to say it's good that you're failing when you're banging your head. That's what I'm calling failing. I don't want that to mean I want you to fail. Ha ha ha. I'm not holding it over you. I want you to know that learning process, I value it a lot. Now, if we can make it a little bit shorter, that might feel better.
I've learned a very, very many things about making sure that you're using dates when using the previous states.
And if you had gotten the answer right off the bat, you probably would not have learned that. Maybe.
Well, I knew it was a thing. I just didn't realize that
Right.
this one was a core because we had been a day since class. I just wasn't thinking about it.
Yes. But now that you know it, the rest of it is so much more easier.
Yeah.
I think I got that one saved. We'll go double check. I'll make sure Zoom is still going. I'm hoping that it records the whole thing this time. Come on, I want Zoom. Give me everything I need. Pop it up. Hold on a second, bear with me. I'm trying to get this pop-up to pop up. There he goes. Says it's still recording. I'm gonna believe it that it's still recording. Let's talk about task 3. Okay, now it's telling us what function to use. So a little bit of a different approach. We have to use a specific function. We have to use it in a certain way. We're using the same videos. We can still use the between clause. We'll get it from the same table. But now we're doing something. We're putting things into 3 buckets. What does that mean?
That's what I understand. Well, part of it.
So I'm using language that I'm familiar with. I didn't know if students would be familiar with this kind of language or not. So I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Go ahead,
You
David.
see that documentation?
You want to look at the documentation for it?
But I know what a bucket is.
Well,
We've
yeah,
gone over,
like
the
3 groups, but I wasn't sure how to put them into the said groups.
Let's go take a look. Documentation. So this one tells you to look at a specific function. and I want, it's all coming out of window functions. We've got it limited to window functions. Let's go take a look at end tile. There it is. Returns an integer indicating which group a given row falls into. That might not be very clear yet. Let's see if there's an example. Example might help us out. So create a table, insert some data into a table, select end tile. Okay, let's see what's happening. Ooh, that looks horrible. Really? That's an example? Okay, this example looks much better. We'll take a look at that one. So the synopsis, the short description of the function that it gives us back a number that indicates which group the row goes into, falls into, I think it said. So we have, what do we have? 11 rows? 10 rows. We have 10 rows. And we have the end tile function is giving us 4 groups. Yes, David?
Okay, you can just continue. It's fine. I was just like drawing a conclusion on my own. Yeah. Just like it looks like you just have 3 arbitrary variables and it automatically tells you what groups they are. And in this case it's like it gives it 4 different groups. Like 4 by
When you say variable, which ones are you calling your variables?
PK.
Okay, so PK being the primary key. A and B are just arbitrary names for 2 different columns. They have the different values. So yeah, you can see them as variables. I can get that. That makes sense.
So it just okay. So in this case, it really just orders it by PK. And it tries to split it up.
Just what was the last part of what you said?
It tries to split it up evenly between the buckets or the groups or
Yes, and to clarify, split it up evenly between what?
whatever the number you put in for the end tile.
Yeah.
Like
Right
the
here.
expression
Into that many buckets.
into that many.
Sure.
Buckets or groups, like boxes, something, some kind of container, some kind of identity, a label.
Arrays probably if it's written in C.
I'm sorry, what?
Arrays probably if it's written in C.
Yeah, array. Okay. Yeah.
So the only I mean the how do I say that? So if only put rows in the different buckets according to their according to how you order them. Right?
What? Okay, we're going to take out the pronouns. When you say order them, what is the them?
Like the rows.
Okay.
Batches.
So we order by PK, and we're grouping different buckets based on the PK. Yes. If you, I think most of you guys have had some kind of other language like JavaScript or Python or something. If you were to do this programmatically, how do you think you might do it? Okay, I'm thinking for loop. Yeah.
So it says order by whatever you're giving it by. In this case, it's the primary key.
Okay.
You find, so you add all them up, divide by how many other containers you have, and then between this and that average like value, put them into one, put them into one, put them into one.
Okay, that'd be one way of doing it. I'm also thinking you could use like a modulus function. It might make it a little bit faster, maybe.
Probably, but that's harder to comprehend.
Okay.
You're thinking about it in your head.
Okay. Yeah.
For coders, I would say it's the same, but for like the average person, you have to do a lot more.
Okay. So based on this example, does this help explain what end tile is doing? Okay, David, you say no, that's fair. Why not? That's a bad question. I'm trying to think how can we make, let's pretend I had set, this one says end tile 1. And it puts everything into one bucket, one group. We said if we put end tile 4 here, it's going to split them up. And what it's doing is trying to make it so that there's as close to the number of, I'm trying to think of how to say this, so that the population, so that the number of elements in each group is as close to each other as possible, equal.
My question is like, if there's a data set, like rows A and B, A is unevenly distributed between the 4 numbers that it has, and B, there's only 2 types of numbers. So what does it do in those 2 cases?
So I'm looking at our entire function. It doesn't care about A or B,
Yeah, I know.
but do you want to?
If you were to, what would happen? Because this is like a perfectly evenly distributed. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because there's always going to be some sort of ID associated with your data set, right? For each data entry.
Ideally, you can't assume that there always will be.
Okay, so that's what I mean. Like, there's going to be exceptions, and I don't know how it handles those.
When there's like, let's say we don't have a primary key.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if, like there's repeats of the
Duplicates.
same video, right? And then what does it do then? Or if there's only one video, what does it do then?
Okay, that's a great question. It's still going to try to put things in the equal number into groups. Going to try to. I wonder if we can answer your question by actually looking at our data for the YouTube stuff. I think I can. Let me go take a look at Heidi. So we're using the same videos. So we can keep the video between 0 and 1. We'll keep that part. We'll keep it from the US videos fixed. We're going to change this part here. Let's see, what does it want us to? I'm gonna get to your question, David. Let me build up to it though. Using the entile function, put the same videos into 3 buckets. But it doesn't really tell us what to select. So let's see. We want the video IDs at the very least. We'll take the video IDs and the buckets. I don't think we really want anything else. ID, video, yeah. And then our bucket function, entile, it told us to use, give it some bucket. We have to use an over clause, probably an order by somewhere. So this middle part is all we have to worry about right now. The entile tells us how many buckets, and the homework says, how many buckets? 3. How many? I'm sorry, 3. So because the homework said 3 buckets, we put the number 3 into our entile function, just like the documentation said. So the only other part we really have to worry about is the order by, or is it? Is there anything else we have to think? Well, let's do the order by first.
Oh, it said the same videos. Does that only mean the videos between 01 and 05? So you don't want us to have the other data as well, the difference between views and stuff.
Correct.
Okay, when you said the same videos, I guess just assumed the same data as before, and all that data.
That would make it confusing.
That's why I was confused.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. So we're taking the same video IDs to help a little bit.
Yeah.
The same video IDs as before. So the video IDs we were using before are the ones between 0 and 5, or 0, 1, and 0, 5. Those video IDs, we're putting them into 3 buckets. Do we need to group them at all? Does it say anything about grouping them? There's another keyword called each. And when you see the word each, that should like set off a flag for you. But I don't see the word each at all.
Each bucket.
Okay, so 3 buckets, each one. So the buckets will be the groups.
Not each video.
Right, not each video. I'm gonna do all videos. That's the implication here, all videos.
Well, the videos with those,
I'm sorry, what was that?
specifically the videos between 01 and 05.
Yes,
Not like technically.
yes. So I don't see anything in here that tells me to group the video IDs. So for right now, I'm not gonna worry about the partition clause. What do we wanna do for the order clause? We could.
And then maybe the entile function, the value.
If you put the end tile bucket number in the right column, you can just order by that.
Can you order by a variable that you've named? You can't. Right?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. It would have to have been a subquery for that to be the case, but
I'd have to see an example, but I think that's correct.
well, if you named the end tile bucket number and then you wanted to order by bucket number, you couldn't do that.
Oh, okay. You mean order by down here?
Yeah.
Not up here.
Not up there.
Big difference. So you want to name this like bucket num. And you want to order by it.
Right. Is that possible?
Yeah.
That is.
I believe it is. We have a syntax error. We need a comma. No syntax errors.
Okay, I guess that is possible.
You can't use like in the group by clause or the where clause. You can't use column aliases.
Oh,
The order by clause,
you can?
yes.
Why?
Okay, another good question. It's a little bit out of scope, but I don't really want to answer that. The way the SQL statement is parsed and executed, it does a select first to figure out what all the columns are. And it gets all those columns it needs from the table. Because they're selecting stuff.
Right, so it has to use where and the other stuff.
But it's working through it though. It doesn't just magically do it all at the same time.
Right.
There's pulling data off a disk and applies the where clause. And that says, okay, I want this one, but not that one. This one, but it still has to read it from this.
But it has to do all that before the order by.
Yes.
And by the time it goes to order it, it has already done all that, so it knows which values.
Yes. Yes. So when you're pulling stuff off a disk, the where clause doesn't know what the columns are called yet. The group by clause doesn't know how you want to group things yet. So you can't say group by bucket num because it's not in a group yet. So to answer your question, why? Because it happens in a certain order.
Okay, makes sense.
A good question. So we've got our video ID, we've got entile 3, and it looks like we have a bunch of video IDs, which a bunch of bucket nums. And it looks like we have duplicates, David. So I think this is going to start answering your question. If all we have are these bucket IDs and there's some duplicates, how are we going to know which one to put in which bucket? Right? To answer that particular question, it doesn't care. We didn't say group by order video ID. We just said order it by. We didn't say group by. So it's going to take the first video ID and spit out the number of values we need for each bucket. This tells me that there's 23 rows altogether, right? We want 3 buckets. So on average, that's going to be like 7.15 rows per bucket.
Like between 7 and 8.
Sorry?
Between 7 and 8.
0.78?
Between 7 and 8.
Yes, between 7 and 8.
per bucket,
It's going to be some rational value, some integer value, not non-integer value between 7 and 8. But let's just round it and call it 7. It's going to be pretty close to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It happens to be 8 for this first bucket, but it's 7. It doesn't match up. It doesn't really care about duplicates for the video ID because it's just taking the first 7, no matter what the video ID is. Doesn't matter if the video IDs are all the same or if they're all different. It just takes, because we said order by, so it takes the first 7 or 8, puts them into the first bucket, like kind of like a deck of cards, put them all in the first bucket. We don't really care what the cards are. Good question though about the duplicates. I think this example helped to answer your question, but do you feel like it answered your question? You're still a little bit confused about it.
It's just mostly just like if you don't order by anything, don't group by anything, it just selects them.
Yeah, so let's take the order by out and see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it out of both of them. No, we'll keep the second one. We'll take it out of the first one. But I'm ordering it by bucket num. Which is interesting because before it started off with 1. And we say order by, it should be ascending. That's a little bit strange. Order by bucket num. And it's not
Ordering
in
my
order.
video ID.
Yeah.
Not ordering my video ID.
I didn't tell it to.
Why not? But it is though.
I'm sorry.
It is though.
I don't understand what you're trying to say though.
If you look at the 2 columns,
Yes?
it's ordering by the video ID, even though you didn't tell it to.
I don't know. I think there's gonna be an 05 or an 04. It doesn't look like it came first.
I mean, was
Ain't
it
no-
because, like the US video figs, video IDs, what is that is, I mean, the table your career account is ordered by video ID, is that why?
Let me go look at something here. Oh, it looks like somebody has joined us. Doo-doo-doo-doo. So we do have values of 04 down here, way down here at the bottom. So they're not really in order of any order I can think of for the output.
Oh,
The
that's
output.
true. They're like 3, 2, 1, 4, but they're grouped by each video. In the previous version of this, some of the videos had skipped lines where they didn't care. It's just the bucket numbers. Now it's like they're grouped together, but they're out of order.
So I'm going to speculate, I don't know this for sure yet. I'm going to speculate that these are all stored together on disk together. That's how I would explain why these are all coming out near each other. What I don't understand is, and maybe I told Harvard was wrong. We said order by bucket num, and even though we said it, this looks pretty obvious that the order is not in order of bucket num. Yeah. I'm going to order by 2, the second column. And it's still that. I am confused.
If you remove the parentheses or like the over, or just actually if you just get rid of everything after anti, we will have.
Do we need a window function here?
We don't need a window function. Oh, yes, we do need a window function.
You said it's an aggregate function, right? They can work on
Over clause turns it into a window.
Right, but do you need the over clause?
No. I don't remember off the top of my head. I haven't used it as an aggregate function. David, to answer your question, though, if you delete everything after the over, it's going to give you a syntax error. That over clause says, there's something coming out after me, you got to read it. So if I run it, I get an error on it.
What if you don't have the over clause?
Yes. I don't know if I've done that before. Near from, it doesn't like it. So maybe,
So maybe it's only works as window functions?
let's go take a look. With window functions, expression over, is it only a window function? I have to look that up, Harvest. I'm not so sure now. Does it make sense if we don't have, yeah, it totally makes sense if we don't have a window. Because all the aggregate functions work in the entire set, unless you group by. You could do the same thing with an entile. I'll have to look up why it doesn't like it here. Maybe it's only being parsed as a window function. I don't know.
Probably, but if you have a window function with nothing in the window function, isn't it the same as not having a window function?
You're saying like this, though?
Yeah.
So the big difference is that a different function like maximum or average would probably be better to explain this. If you take out the window, it's going to operate the entire data set unless you use the group by clause. The window clause over totally ignores the group by clause, doesn't care about it at all. That over clause is kind of like saying, look at this specific group of rows and do something with them. That's all the over clause.
But if you're not specifying any specific group of windows or rows, it's everything still, right?
Yes, So there's another function called row number. I think it's row num, and it operates the exact same way as this. You can't use it as an aggregate function without a window. That's just the way it was written.
So it's just,
It has to work with the over clause, and the you can specify window, but some people just don't. You just let it number the rows.
Yeah.
So maybe I was wrong when I said that window functions are subsets of aggregate functions. Because now I'm thinking, now we come up with 2 examples, but that's not true. Okay, we are getting like super close to the end of our time. I think, did we answer task 3? Let's go take a look. You didn't put the same video into 3 buckets. I'm going to quickly verify that this is actually in 3 buckets and they're in equal number of them. How am I going to verify that? Look, video, nope. I need a bucket. Now I'm going to put that back in. So I've got my entire function inside a subquery. I'm going to count all, I forgot the group by clause. Hold on. Group by bucket. I can type. Okay. So to the best of its ability, it looks like the number of elements in each bucket is really close. We have we don't have an even number of rows, so we divide them up as close as we could. That's the way we verify it.
so it works, but you can't order by bucket number either.
Yes, I have to figure out why. That's really weird.
So what you said earlier, you still think it's true though?
But we couldn't order by even, we couldn't order at all, no matter what. So maybe there must be an exception somewhere down the line. Okay, before I let you go, what do you guys want to do next week? Keep working on homework 5, want me to come up with new homework, new content?
What's due before the midterm?
Yes. What do you want your midterm grade to be? What is it going to be based on?
Homework.
All of them?
What else?
All right, good question. What else, Yadi? What do you think?
I mean, not all of this is here, but somebody may not like the color. Attendance, I don't know, maybe. Just say,
How about just attendance?
I'm sorry, David, what were you saying?
It was just, I don't think we even keeping track of attendance.
no.
I remember exactly what it was.
But even beyond that, like, I think the only fair way, at least what I've heard from the professor, is a combination of like homework and like discussion questions. I was gonna say discussion queries, but that's not right. But, yeah.
But traditionally, what I do is I just take it straight off, only homework, and that's what the whole grade is based on. So if I do that, then it'd just be, if we have 5 homeworks and about 10 points each, so it's 50 points, do a straight up grading curve on that. Not a curve, a linear grading scale. 90, 80, 70%, all that good stuff. So just homeworks 1 through 5. What do you think?
I think that's right. I don't remember homework one.
There's something about setting up your database or something.
Yeah. Did we?
It's in the content.
Yeah, I know, but wasn't there something where that one wasn't? Or was it?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Are we still allowed to resubmit homework 5 then?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but it needs to be in before midterm date.
Well, if you want credit for it.
Okay, if you want credit for it, but we can still turn it in afterwards and it would be fine.
I will grade it.
Okay.
It won't count towards your midterm.
Yeah, but
I would definitely grade it.
That's,
but
I would just make it a point to get all your assignments before like 4 days from now.
Yeah.
So
say? No. Some other day.
Before Sunday is out, turn in all.
No, I would say,
You've
I'm gonna
probably-
say Saturday night,
Yeah.
because that gives me time to grade it
Yeah,
and then enter grades.
For the week.
because he has to turn in the midterm grades and calculate the midterm grades.
So before the week is out, we can call you.
Saturday night, yes.
Yeah, because if he's mid turning in the grades and you turn in your homework, then you have to review the grades.
Yes, and you'll be singing a very sad song.
Okay. So if you want the homework on the midterm before Saturday night.
Yes, you got it. And that question, because I'll be checking. Have a good time, Arvis. Okie dokie, no problem. I'm gonna stop the recording then, and hopefully we'll get this transcoded. So, Colin, I see you're online. We're saying good night. I'm gonna stop the recording and stop the meeting. If you have questions, you can email them to me.
I'm here. I got it. I recorded everything on my end.
And